JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin Clark. She swipes her in the eyeball.
I think it's all part of the game. Caitlin Clark does taunt the refs, complain a lot, go back there a lot.
That ain't a representation of us. Y'all not like us. They not like us, okay?
Shit about the WNBA.
Yeah.
That league sucks.
I'll tell you why they're relevant is because of this one white girl that just keeps flexing on all the black girls, man.
Yeah. White people love watching that.
Caitlin Clark.
No player in WNBA history has had to deal with this, what she's dealing with.
2 minutes ago, the WNBA just crossed another line. And at the center of it all, once again, is Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark is the needle mover.
She is the needle mover.
She is the franchise player.
And she was the MVP.
She is the main draw.
She wasn't the one who was full sprinting down the court.
She's not just playing basketball. She's rewriting the rules, breaking records, and packing arenas across the country.
WNBA and the No Space for Hate campaign has to be, pardon my language, the biggest crock of shit.
But instead of celebrating her rise, some people, inside the league and beyond, seem desperate to tear her down. And now the Atlanta Dream's ownership is at the center of yet another shocking incident.
By Marina Marbury.
She is a dirty player.
Marina Mabry, you dirty slime ball player, you come and blindside Caitlin Clark.
The damn game is still on.
JC Sheldon claws her in the eye. Mabry just goes and shoves her onto the ground.
JC Sheldon had pushed Caitlin. She had pushed Caitlin in a second quarter.
What happened today wasn't just another cheap shot. It felt personal. It felt planned. And it's turning more heads than ever before. Was this a real on-court rivalry or a scripted attack against the WNBA's most valuable star?
We see Caitlin Clark on the receiving end of something, and it's not called correctly. In fact, she gets a technical foul after getting poked in the eye and then shoved to the floor, and Marina Mabry doesn't even get thrown out of the game. It's basically open season on Caitlin Clark.
This isn't just about fouls anymore. This is about control, jealousy, and a league that doesn't quite know how to handle a phenomenon like Caitlin Clark. If you support greatness under pressure, hit that like button. If you're tired of the games behind the game, subscribe and let us know in the comments.
No player in WNBA history has had to deal with this, what she's dealing with.
Is Caitlin being unfairly targeted, or is this just competition gone too far? Because what just happened doesn't look like basketball anymore. You're watching HOOPTICS, where the game meets the truth.
Be a representation of what the WNBA would want in their league. This is our league. This was built, I feel like as a women's basketball historian myself, I've been watching since I was 5. I was here before the league started, as a lot of the fans on social media feel the same. That ain't a representation of us. Y'all not like us. They not like us, okay? So please don't confuse me saying motivated by hate by meaning hating on a team the way a normal, die-hard fan would.
The game was already tense, but what unfolded just minutes ago between Caitlin Clark and the Atlanta Dream took things to another level, one that felt less like a basketball clash and more like a carefully timed ambush.
If you want to give Caitlin Clark a technical foul for the reaction, the ball's here. The ball is here. Caitlin Clark's head is here. The ball is, she's nowhere near the ball and she goes for the eye. You might as well just say it's protect all players. It's protect all players other than Caitlin Clark, because they are watching her scratch someone in the eye this much away from the ball. It's not even close.
Midway through the game, Caitlin Clark was once again on the receiving end of a hard foul, this time from Marina Mabry, a Dream player known for playing physical. The contact wasn't just aggressive, it was deliberate. Clark hit the floor. No one helped her up. And the reaction from the Dream bench? Nothing but silence.
Look at the fans! Look at the fans! Look at the damn fans, bro! Caitlin poked in the eye.
And the craziest thing is, they did not even eject Marina Mabry from the game. If that doesn't get you ejected, what has to happen for you to get ejected? Do you have to murder somebody on the floor? Like, what is going on with the WNBA?
And for fans watching, it raised a single question. Was this just tough basketball, or did the Atlanta Dream's ownership sign off on a strategy to humiliate Caitlin Clark in public?
Renee Montgomery, who hates Caitlin Clark, hates the Indiana Fever fans.
That ain't a representation of us. Y'all not like us. They not like us, okay?
The Caitlin games and Indiana Fever games are highly publicized and watched, and the viewership is high. There's a lot of eyes on those moments.
Let's not forget, Renee has been vocal in past interviews about how Caitlin's presence brings a lot of eyes, but also how the attention on her can overshadow others in the league. That kind of mindset, paired with what just happened on the court, feels like more than coincidence. It feels like intent.
Hey, Caitlin's reaction. JC Sheldon is literally just grabbing and scratching Caitlin the whole game.
Marina Mabrey exploding Caitlin Clark like a safety coming downhill in the NFL. There was no flop there. Marina Mabrey did a straight beeline run to Caitlin Clark and checked her. You got Lexi Hull saying, JC, what the hell is wrong with you? This was all game, folks. All game. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever were getting checked. All game, the Indiana Fever were getting punked. All game, the referees let this physical style of basketball continue and continue and continue and continue and continue and continue.
This wasn't a heat of the moment foul. It was calculated, controlled, and it sent a clear message. Caitlin, we're not done with you yet.
And so the first year Caitlin Clark was in the WNBA, they were hazing her. They're not hazing her anymore. They're just trying to figure out how the hell to stop her. It's not hazing. It's, all right, traps, pressure. So the Fever saw it coming.
It started with a subtle jab, but quickly escalated into yet another blatant shot at Caitlin Clark. The Atlanta Dream's owner made public comments that felt more like calculated PR warfare than genuine opinion. This isn't the first time she stepped into controversy surrounding Caitlin. And just like before, it reeks of envy.
You look at this, the viewership, right? People ain't just watching WNBA just to watch it. They're watching it because of Caitlin Clark. Yes, sir. And I'm guilty of it because I'm one of them guys. Oh, is Caitlin playing today? I'm watching it. Oh, she's hurt? I'm not even tuning in.
Caitlin Clark would make the difference that she has in college basketball or in the WNBA. There are, the WNBA opening game for Caitlin Clark set all-time records. There are millions of people that never cared about the WNBA at all that now care because Caitlin Clark is in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark has brought to bear at the WNBA. I think it is extraordinary.
Caitlin is there, a lot more viewership coming. A lot of people who may have never seen the W before saw that game. The Caitlin games and Indiana Fever games are highly publicized and watched, and the viewership is high. There's a lot of eyes on those moments.
Why is Caitlin always the target? Because she's dominating. She's filling arenas, boosting ratings, and becoming the face of the league. That kind of spotlight doesn't come without shadows, especially from those who feel left behind. From the moment Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, the tension was undeniable. But what happened with the Atlanta Dream feels calculated. During their recent matchup, the Dream's physical play wasn't just aggressive, it felt personal.
This is wild. CBS launching WNBA tip-off. Okay, that sounds fine. A pregame featuring, Renee. They not like us. They not like us. We do not want them here. We don't want those fans. Montgomery and Dawn Kelly as analysts, along with Sarah Kustok as host.
And now comments made by figures tied to the team, including ownership, suggest something deeper is at play. This isn't just heated competition. This looks like a league unwilling to embrace its biggest star. Instead of protecting a player who's brought historic viewership and new fans, the league seems to be tolerating, if not encouraging, behavior that sidelines her influence.
One, because she's really good, and you're, with any great player, you're going to try to intimidate physically if you can. And two, because she brings it on. She talks trash. She lets you know when she's putting it in your eye. She walks around the floor, whether it's with the referees, whether it's with the opponent, whether it's with anybody, as if she's the baddest woman on the planet, if not on the court. And she has the ability to back that up. I don't have any issue with that.
The moment Caitlin Clark hit the floor, social media exploded. Fans weren't just outraged, they were done staying quiet. Across Twitter, Instagram, and sports forums, one theme kept repeating, why is this still happening to her? The general public saw it for what it was, another blatant cheap shot, and the reactions weren't subtle. Thousands of fans came to Clark's defense, calling out the WNBA for turning a blind eye to repeated targeting.
Marina Mabrey body checking Caitlin Clark to the ground. JC Sheldon all over her, riding her. Pokes Caitlin Clark in the eye.
Highlight reels of the foul started circulating within minutes, with fans pointing out how no technical was immediately called, no accountability taken, and, most notably, no protection offered. Meanwhile, sports analysts couldn't ignore the optics either. Major voices in sports media began drawing comparisons between Caitlin and past greats like Michael Jordan.
She clawed her in the eye. That is an ejection. No question about it, that is an ejection. It's not even within 5 feet of the, not even within a foot of the ball. That's an ejection too. Both of them are ejections. If the referees leave either of them, if we're going severity of it, JC Sheldon has to be ejected. JC Sheldon, the precedence that they will set, if JC Sheldon intentionally scratches somebody in the eye, there's no question about that. That is intentional.
Athletes who were attacked physically because their game was simply too good to contain. The difference? Jordan had the league's protection. Caitlin, not yet. And then came the silence. From the Dream's front office, from the league, and from those who once praised her talent, but now refuse to defend her when it matters.
She's the Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting.
Caitlin Clark is an absolute all-star. She is the Michael Jordan of this. This is the girl that girls have been waiting for forever.
Caitlin Clark is a rising star in women's basketball. She's pulling in crazy viewership numbers.
Caitlin Clark is the needle mover.
She is the needle mover.
She is the franchise player.
And she was the MVP.
She is the main draw.
She wasn't the one who was full sprinting down the court.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
And she's so good at basketball.
Because she's that awesome person and she has a lot of aura, so
That silence said everything. On the other side, Indiana Fever fans, the ones who've supported Caitlin from day one, showed up louder than ever. Their cheers during the free throws, their reaction during the replay, and their unwavering support online became a statement of its own. You can try to knock her down, but we've got her back. What we're seeing isn't just a star being challenged. We're watching a league divide into two camps. Those who fear Caitlin's rise and those who recognize they're witnessing greatness.
Sophie Cunningham hard fouls JC Sheldon. She gets ejected.
Sophie Cunningham removed from the WNBA.
She straight up tackled JC Sheldon.
If they would have just ejected Marina Mabrey, this probably wouldn't have happened.
Sophie Cunningham removed from the WNBA.
Now here's where it gets wild. A petition surfaced, yes, an actual petition, to remove Sophie Cunningham from the WNBA. Why? Because of her physical play, especially in games involving Caitlin.
Sophie Cunningham steps up, grabs her, knocks her down, gets a flagrant 2 for this, they end up calling.
While the internet laughs about it, it's clear that this is all part of a larger effort to shift the spotlight away from Clark by creating chaos around her. And let's be real, if roles were reversed and Caitlin had thrown elbows or played aggressive, headlines would call her unruly or out of control. But when others do it to her, silence or worse, support.
JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin Clark. She swipes her in the eyeball.
Sophie tries to wrap her up, and Sheldon gets to the floor, and all hell breaks loose.
Even fan pages from rival teams are calling for the All-Star game to be taken out of Indiana. What started as basketball rivalry is turning into a smear campaign. Caitlin Clark isn't just a rookie, she's a disruptor. Her presence has transformed the WNBA's visibility overnight, bringing in millions of new viewers, sponsors, and headlines. But instead of celebrating that, some in the league see her as a threat to the existing power structure.
There is now a petition to remove Sophie Cunningham from the WNBA. It has 114 signatures.
She doesn't fit the traditional mold of the WNBA. She's a white, straight, Midwestern superstar in a league historically dominated by Black and openly queer athletes. And that contrast has sparked an uncomfortable cultural divide. Some veterans feel overlooked, others feel threatened. And the result is a silent backlash that plays out on the court and in media narratives. Clark's popularity isn't the problem. It's the league's inability to handle her rise without fracturing its own identity.
The WNBA has this no space for hate campaign, and I'm just letting them know, like, you've created this space for the hate.
The no space for hate campaign was directed towards a certain fan base.
When you step back and look at the pattern, it's hard not to ask the question, is all of this just part of the game? Or is something being orchestrated behind the scenes?
Caitlin Clark comes into the WNBA, goes through college. She has panache. She has style.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
And she's so good at basketball.
Because she's that awesome person, and she has like a lot of aura, so like.
It is undeniable that Caitlin Clark is the engine.
Caitlin Clark effect. There has been so much of an influx in attendance, in jersey sales, and viewership, all the things.
That's about star power, narrative, and likability.
Caitlin Clark comes into the WNBA, goes through college. She has panache. She has style.
Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the WNBA, she changed it. She brought record-breaking viewership, sold-out arenas, and millions of new fans to a league that had struggled for attention. And with that spotlight came power, the kind that reshapes media coverage, endorsements, and even locker room dynamics. But not everyone likes that shift. Multiple insiders have hinted that some around the league, players, executives, even ownership, feel overshadowed by the Caitlin Clark effect.
Be a representation of what the WNBA would want in their league. This is our league. This was built, like, I feel like as a women's basketball historian myself, I've been watching since I was 5. I was here before the league started, as a lot of the fans on social media feel the same. That ain't a representation of us. Y'all not like us. They not like us, okay? So please don't confuse me saying motivated by hate by meaning hating on a team the way a normal, die-hard fan would.
It's not just jealousy, it's fear. Fear that one player has drawn so much attention so quickly that it's reshuffling the league's entire hierarchy. And that fear may now be turning into quiet, coordinated pushback. The physical fouls, the strategic silence from leadership, the lack of disciplinary action. None of it feels coincidental anymore, especially when the person being targeted is the very reason the WNBA is seeing a surge in national relevance.
People can say whatever they want about Caitlin Clark. People can say whatever they want about the Indiana Fever, that white girl this, corn girl that, person from Iowa this, person from Iowa that, so on and so forth. And the WNBA?
Even more telling, the Fever went out and brought in Sophie Cunningham, a literal black belt, to protect Clark. That move alone speaks volumes. Indiana saw what was coming. They knew it wasn't just competition. It was going to get ugly, and they prepared for war. And let's be honest, controversy sells. The league may not be openly encouraging these moments.
Going after a superstar and trying to rough them up a little bit to get in their head is a part of sports. When it crosses the line, the referees need to do their jobs. They need to do their jobs, blow the whistle, and officiate properly. Hand out flagrants, kick people out of games, nip it in the bud.
But it certainly isn't stopping them. From a marketing standpoint, every headline about Caitlin, good or bad, drives clicks, arguments, and viewership. So when the Atlanta Dream's ownership stands by as their players rough her up on national television and no real consequences follow, it's hard not to wonder, was this just part of the game or part of the plan? Because at this point, it's starting to feel less like basketball and more like a show.
And like she got really rocked.
Oh,
and
man.
like
That league will be a death warrant for that league. Yeah, it'd be.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball, period.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right, so she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's the face of the league. Agreed.
Just have nothing but great things to say about who she is as a person. Just so welcoming and so warm as an individual that she can have a conversation with anybody. She's cut from the same cloth as me in that regard. You know, us Midwesterners, we tend to just, accept everybody with open arms. She was so kind to my family and everyone in the suite when she came to KC. So huge fans of Caitlin Clark.
It is a mad situation just all around when it comes to Caitlin Clark, because it's very clear that she is way stronger.
Over. This isn't just about fouls or hard screens. This is about narrative control. Some players and owners clearly feel threatened by Caitlin's rapid rise. She's not just good, she's a generational talent changing how people view women's basketball. And when someone like Caitlin breaks through barriers so fast, people with power who've spent years building influence suddenly feel insecure.
WNBA without Caitlin Clark remains an attraction that not many people want to watch. Without Caitlin Clark,
is going to massively affect the WNBA.
That's why you see all-star votes manipulated, social media flooded with anti-Clark rhetoric, and even broadcasters subtly undermining her. But Caitlin, she never bites back. She doesn't whine. She plays hard, takes the hits, and still drops 30. That's real strength. That's leadership.
She is a supernova a level of fame with one-of-a-kind talent, and it is game-changing for the entire league.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
Caitlin Clark is Indiana Fever's leading scorer at over 19 points a game. Caitlin Clark is undeniably the offensive engine.
You cannot deny the impact that she's made on this sport.
That's nice. And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right, so she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
And she's so good at basketball.
Because she's that awesome person, and she has like a lot of aura, so like.
That's why this planted drama will fail. What fans witnessed during the Atlanta Dream game wasn't just tough defense. It looked like a script. Hard fouls, targeted plays, and a strange silence from officials all fueled the belief that this wasn't a coincidence. Especially when you consider previous moments where Clark was roughed up without consequence. This latest incident feels like part of a pattern.
this will be some thrilling breakdowns of basketball strategy. Thrilling, I tell you. I cannot wait to watch this.
Some are now calling it what it appears to be, a planted show, not just by players, but enabled by team leadership and ignored by the league. And with the Dream's owner making indirect jabs, it's hard not to wonder, is this about basketball or a coordinated effort to humble the league's new face? Clark's treatment isn't random, it's systematic, and fans are done staying quiet about it.
Caitlin Clark is a rising star in women's basketball. She's pulling in crazy viewership numbers.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT!
She signed my jersey! So happy, I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
The jerseys, the number 22, the various styles, whether it's a t-shirt with 22, whether it's an Iowa jersey, whether it's a Fever jersey, a throwback, I mean, whatever. The amount of people in yellow 22 apparel is stunning.
What we're witnessing isn't just a rookie season. It's a revolution. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball. She's exposing a league that's still figuring out how to handle greatness. And every time she gets knocked down, she gets back up stronger. And that's exactly why they keep coming for her. This latest hit from the Atlanta Dreams camp, it wasn't just a foul, it was a message. But here's one back.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
And she's so good at basketball.
Because she's that awesome person, and she has like a lot of aura, so like.
It is undeniable that Caitlin Clark is the engine.
Caitlin Clark effect. There has been so much of an influx in attendance, in jersey sales, and viewership, all the things.
That's about star power, narrative, and likability.
Caitlin Clark comes into the WNBA, goes through college. She has panache. She has style.
She is a supernova, a level of fame with one-of-a-kind talent, and it is game-changing for the entire league.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
Caitlin Clark is Indiana Fever's leading scorer at over 19 points a game. Caitlin Clark is undeniably the offensive engine.
You cannot deny the impact that she's made on this sport.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right, so she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
And she's so good at basketball.
Because she's that awesome person, and she has like a lot of aura, so like.
Caitlin isn't backing down, and neither are her fans. So if you believe in real talent and fair play, like this video. If you're here for the full story, not the filtered one, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments, was this just a physical game Or was something clearly planted? The drama's not over, and we'll be here to break it down every step of the way. You're watching HOOPTICS, where the game meets the truth.